Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Missing the Point, part of the Radcast Network. I am your host, Michael Marcangelo, joined alongside by my guy, Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, he is the light-skinned brother in green. Ray, it's good to have you back, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. It's good. It's good to be back. You know, it's been a little bit of a busier summer than I envisioned, but as always, it's good to be a part of a crew of five because you know you guys have been holding it down. We heard some good news behind the scenes today, so you know we're just trying to build off that. So yeah, it's good to be back, and I'm happy to talk sports with you.
So obviously we're in the dog days of summer, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light for us here has always been SummerSlam. No, I'm just kidding. Football season. But you know, stay tuned for the
Okay, that's coming. That's coming. That's coming. We got you covered.
That's coming next week. But with everything that's been really not going on here day to day, what I thought we should do is more or less a state of the Commonwealth, right? We are a Boston sports podcast. So let's flex our muscles here, talk a little bit about all Boston sports with one little note and disclaimer. This is just from me. I do not speak for everyone else on this podcast. But until Don Sweeney and Cam Neely are removed from the front office or the Bruins are in the Stanley Cup Finals, I will not speak about them. I won't do it. I won't put myself through that. I had to live through the fucking Tuukka Rask days where I told you I wasn't going to talk about them. I don't care if they went 82-0. They damn near did, and then they lost in the first round. So I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. If you have a Bruins note that you want to get off your chest before you never speak about them again with me.
Well, hey, what's up, Jay? As one of the season ticket holders, he's one of the reasons why I look forward to coming to Bruins games because of him. He's really awesome. I think that they try to make a couple of splashes in the offseason. Once again, I don't know enough about the players they acquired to make any real takes on it, so I won't do that. Hopefully, they got quicker. Hopefully, they got younger because that's something they were lacking the last 2 years. They've let go of everyone, and the guy that you let go became a Stanley Cup champion for the second time down in Florida. So, and it signs a 6-year deal for $43 million, something like that, down there, like crazy. So they're set up for a while down there, and they started their run because of you. So yeah, I was there. I was there for 59.8 seconds on the clock. That's how close they were from moving on to the next round. And that's, folded. But once again, I mean, we were here for 2010 as well. So there's been some other darker days. But yeah.
Is that when are you referring to when the Bruins were 3-0 on the Philadelphia?
Nothing will top that. Nothing. Yeah, nothing will top that. It's just a matter of finding a way to, one, at least get back to being competitive in the East. But then, just making the necessary moves to set the team. But yeah, that's that. But that could be it for the Bruins talk. See you in September.
Perfect. So let's start with the Red Sox. I think the last time we were on the pod together, we talked a little bit about the Devers trade and the aftermath. Since the deal, the Red Sox have gone 16-9. They rode a 10-game winning streak going into the All-Star break. And I think they got themselves back to an identical record that they've had for the last 3 years. Was it 53-47 or something like that? Conversely, the Giants have gone 11-18 with a 379 win percentage since that trade. Talk to me about just in the context of the trade. Obviously, I think that's something that we're going to have to wait a couple of years to see, right? But right now, does it hurt as much as it did a month and a half ago?
So, yes, because you saw what happened in July start to happen when they swept the Yankees, right? You saw the run starting to take place. Like, you saw they were going to start to play better. They were pitching better. They were starting to get healthier. And, you don't replace a bat like that in the immediate right now. Once again, you could get somebody next year. You could get someone at the trade deadline, and we'll get into that as the show wanes. But in the immediate, no, it still stings that you let him go. I know that, a 10-game winning streak will help cure that feeling, and it did, because I was there for a few of those games, and it looked like, it felt like 2021, it felt like 2018. They've had some special moments this year that lets you think that they're better than they were last year, which is why I was so calm. We did speak about it then. I do have a little bit of a different, mood at this moment, even though I still feel good about them. There's just some things that they still need to tweak on, in my opinion. But just specific to the trade, I think Devers just looks like a fish out of water out there. When you play in, I was going to call it AT&T. Is AT&T Park? What's it called? I don't know what it's called now, but when we grew up, it was AT&T Park. It's hard when it's like, 4, 5, dead center. I know they pulled into left field a little bit, but he was never. I mean, he could hit. He could hit to all fields, but it's hard to get one out of there on a regular basis. Like, and he strikes out too often, you know. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, and it's they look good, meaning the Red Sox, but they look good for the wrong reason.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
given their current standing,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think with the trade deadline looming? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you expect Breslow to maybe double down on contention, go for arms like Seth Lugo or maybe even Charlie Morton? Or does he pivot into a retool role? What do you think they're going to do? And obviously, as we always talk about on the show, what do you think is going to happen? And what do you want to happen?
So what I think is going to happen is that they say, you know, we're getting Patrick Sandoval, we've gotten Bregman back, we got Yoshida back, and they say, let's ride the wave. That's what I think is going to happen. Which, once again, Bregman is better than most guys they would get into. I can stomach that more than in years past, right? Because getting Costas back and all the guys are not as good at the trade deadline. But, you know, you talk about, I think Seth Lugo, I think he's in Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. Charlie Morton, I mean, I know he's been in Houston and he was part of the teams that won a championship, but he hasn't moved the needle for me like that. Seth Lugo would be fine. I know Joe Ryan's been a name that's been out there from Minnesota. I just don't know if Minnesota moves on from him. You know, it seems like Detroit has the AL Central locked up. Like let's say have a, 2011 Red Sox type of collapse in September. And you've seen it coming last year with them, right? Like they caught fire in the last month and a half last year, and we rolled into the wild card, and then they translated it into this season. So they have a good young core over there, and Harvey Baez is finally living up to his contract. Yeah, they got some good things going on. Spencer Torkelson, I think, at first base. So they actually have a first baseman over there. So that leads into what I would want. I would want you to get another bat at first base. Yes, Roman Gonzalez has been good. Yes, Abraham Torres has been good. Either one of those guys, they should not be hitting in the 4-hole. At analytics or not, Abraham Toro or Roman Gonzalez should not be hitting in the 4 spot. Or even Carlos Narvaez. No way. No way. No way. Right. Because to me, that means you're getting too cute with the lineup. You're getting too cute. Neither one of those guys are number 4 hitters. Stop it.
To your original point, though, is that you think that what they're going to try and sell us, which is what they've done in the past, is we have all these guys coming off of DL. It's like we just acquired them. How has that worked for them in the past?
We know that it hasn't, but we know that they don't try to. I mean, granted, 2021 is the last time they tried to do it, and it worked because they got to the ALCS. And, one of the bigger what ifs will always be, what if they kept Kyle Schwarber in 2022? He has done well everywhere he's been. He is killing it in Philadelphia right now, as they've been killing us throughout this week so far. I don't know why it got to that. Once again, 2018, you went 108-54. Had one of the greatest teams ever assembled, ever. Had one of the best outfields the city has ever seen. Probably the best since, Lynn, Dwight Evans, and Yaz. Or Jim, you had that as outfield. That's one thing I'll say about it here. We have always found a way to get a beautiful outfield. Always. Like that's just they just know how to develop it. I don't know, something's in the water. They just always find a guy that could play out there. And now you see the emergence now of Rafaela. You've seen some of the resurgence with Duran too in the last month or so. And then Abreu, I mean, they got him in the Christian Vasquez trade a couple years ago. He's been money. He's been money.
Yeah.
Since he's been been here. So Gold Glove winner. So they have some gems there. But to your point about Devers too, Jordan Hicks, who they got in the trade now. Yes, Jordan Hicks didn't do well the other night when people were talking about people are pissed off about catch interference, and rightfully so. But Jordan Hicks has had some good moments and pressure spots here already. And then, I know the other guy they got in the trade hasn't really done anything yet at the minor leagues, but Jordan Hicks has been a key component already. So once again, that helps ease it a little bit because they went on a winning streak. But like I said, I hope they go get a guy like Joe Ryan. I hope you go get a first baseman. And there's many ways they can go. But if you are going to let go of Duran, it better be for a frontline pitcher, not someone who's going to be in it like a John Burkett. Once again, I don't mean to give him a stray, but someone we don't need someone like that. We don't need like an old Kenny Rogers. We need.
You don't want someone that goes 11-9 with a 4.5 ERA.
I mean, what's going on in baseball? 4.5 is
Yeah, I'll take the 4.5.
ended now. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But and they were talking about Durant in San Diego for like a Dylan Cease, which that's cool. To me, what I've seen from Joe Riley, I like him here. Minnesota's also not completely out of it, so I don't know why they would part ways with him, even if it's for someone like Durant. So we'll see.
So one of the biggest weaknesses for this team last year was obviously starting rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like this year with guys like Crochet, Giolito, Brian
Mhm.
Bello, they've kind of stepped it up.
Yeah.
Does this feel like a rotation that could make a deep run into October?
So if Bayo continues to make that trend, yes. Even Bueller was good the other night. He's had a rough patch here lately, and that's saying it lightly. He's fell out of favor with the fan base rather quickly, and rightfully so. But yeah, I mean, if you had told me that Giolito was going to be your second best pitcher a couple months ago, I would have looked at you like you smoked some of the finest weed out here because it was unbelievable. But that Toronto start, his first start of the year against Toronto, when he went 7 right away and he looked dominant, I was like, oh, okay, like this is his ceiling. And then he's had a few more of those moments since. So he's gotten stronger as the year has gone on. We'll see what Patrick Sandoval does when he comes back. Maybe he becomes a relief guy, kind of like a kind of Crawford type of role, here. But yeah, it's about time, honestly, because once again, the teams have won. So whether you had Sale, Price, even in 2013, you had Lester, and Lackey finally earned his contract during that run. And you go back to 07, obviously, you had Beckett going crazy. So, you had Papelbon closing it out. Speaking of that, listen, Aroldis Chapman, once again, I know people were, on their moral compass, on their high horse about what he's done off the field, which is not something to be commended. I'm not sitting there and praising him for what he did, because his performance on the field has been sensational. I did not think that he would be this good. I thought he would do okay, but he's been amazing. And it's weird because you go from Kenley Jansen to Chapman and they haven't missed a beat there, because once again, you've had a great closer the last 3 years and you still were 81 to 81 or 78 84. Like, that's insane to me. So you had the back end of the pitching rotation right. You had Chris Martin, you had Jansen, you had Garrett Whitlock when he was healthy. To now, you don't want to spend on getting another bat or getting another pitcher that can help in the front line. Like, what are we doing? Like that's the only thing that gets me upset. Like, not the record, because once again, it's a 162. It's a long year. They can go on another run and then be right back in it. Like that's not, I'm not as annoyed with that. I'm annoyed with you see the team fighting, right? They're not quitting. They are fighting for the playoff lives. And you say, we're good how we are. That's what's annoying, and more than anything else.
In your opinion, we all know, as the fans and us would say, like, any team that quits on its manager, whatever. Do you think Cora had done enough up to the point of the 10-game winning streak for players to start questioning whether he was the guy to lead this team?
So let me be clear. I still want Alex Cora gone.
Yeah.
Still want him gone. It's great. So, okay. And we haven't used this reference in a while. But for those of the OG listeners of the show, we thank you for listening, and we hope that you continue to listen, so you'll get this reference. He started to remind me of horseshoes. And, aka Brad Stevens. We know what Brad Stevens has been as a GM, but as a coach, his message fell on deaf ears eventually. Had some really good runs, right? Obviously, conference finals, second rounders, teams overachieve just about every year, just about.
Yeah.
But it's the opposite with Cora, right? He's almost like your boy Doc Rivers too, in a way. Because unless you have the best team that's ever been assembled, you don't do anything. Right?
I don't like the hole that you're painting me in, because now I have to.
I mean, it's true in this regard. I don't like it either, because I've defended Doc, but I don't defend him anymore. But it's true.
I would just say that Cora at least got back to what would be like the conference finals in basketball, the ALCS, without the exact same 3 Hall of Fame core. Doc Rivers can't do that.
True. No, I mean, what I'm trying to do, because you still had JD. I mean, that roster was not nearly as good as I said, Kike Hernandez turned into prime Jeter. Like, it was unreal.
Right.
It was unbelievable. What a run. So that's what I'm saying. Like it takes those type of magical runs for things to happen. But I don't know. Like I just think his message fell on deaf ears. Like to me, I thought he was only being kept because of the Devers connection. Well, Devers is gone. So what do you like? If your manager is the face of the organization, you're in a bad spot. You just are.
Right.
And he should not be the most known figure on the team. He just shouldn't. I mean, we're fans.
Well, no, that's not really his fault because the ownership in the front office trade all the other notable players.
No, to the casual fan, because once again, as us being lifelong watchers, we know who's coming up in the system. Like once again, our producer Dan Mayer lives in the farm. Like dude knows every prospect coming up. He was telling us about Bayo in advance. He was talking about Christian K. Like he was telling us about those guys when they were in Worcester, when they were in Lowell. So we were put on a game long before they came up to the main roster. I know that sounds real WWE-ish, but that's the best way I can say it. But yeah, before they got to the main roster. So yeah, like I said, your manager should not be the face of the organization. You shouldn't. This is not football. This is not soccer. Sorry, it's not soccer. Shouldn't be that. That guy should not be the lead guys. But hopefully they figure it out because once again, they have fans invested again. And I know because I said I'm there. And when this team is on fire, it is still the hottest ticket in town. It's not the Patriots. It's not the Celtics. It's not the Bruins. When the Red Sox are doing well, they are easily number one in this town. Easily. And I've seen it. I've seen it again now to remind me of that take. Like when that place is rocking, it's nothing like it. And I said, TD Garden's cool. Like I said, I've been there. Like when Fenway's rocking, you got them 35, 40,000 going crazy like that off a walk-off. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And I just hope that I hope they figure it out because October baseball here is special. And we deserve it up here. We've been yearning for that up here. We deserve that run. We deserve it. I don't know if they're going to get there, but we deserve it.
Yep. I agree with you on that. One last thing to mention on the Red Sox, unless you have anything else after. Are you concerned about them on the road?
Yes.
I mean, they're 22 and 29 on the road, right?
Yeah.
But I think the most important stats for me, because I'm a stat guy, they have 100 more strikeouts away.
Mm-hmm.
They can only score runs when it's basically on solo homers. Right. And they just got exposed with a 12 strikeout complete game loss to Philly. So they need, I think the biggest red flags for a team like this are inconsistency, right? So A, are you worried? And B, how do they fix it?
So you got to get, okay, let's use Sunday's game, for instance, right? So Sunday, their backs were against the wall against Chicago. They had lost their first two coming out the gate. Fans are going crazy on Twitter and social media, I knew they were a fraud. And, going back to the same rhetoric they were doing in early June. And then Bregman gets up there, and Bregman hits the biggest home run of the season, to date, right? And once again, this is not original, but it's real. Like it felt different for the moment because it was like, oh, okay, like they have some guys here that can get the job done. Your star players, and to me, this is prevalent in any sport. So this is not just baseball or basketball, like it's any team for your major sport. Your stars win you games on the road. Bregman did that on the road the other night. Crochet did what he did. Even early in the year, I mean, Christian Kevin's not a star yet, but I remember him hitting a home run in Texas. Like you have to have guys raise their level just a little bit more on the road because other guys are going to feel more comfortable at Fenway because you could play Pepper off the Green Monster. You can get a Fenway double, which is when it hits that little thing in the corner, it just runs around. So there's more comfort there. But they have trouble on the road, but it's really with extra inning games. Like when it gets to extra innings, you pretty much know that they're going to find some type of wacky, crazy way to lose. And we've seen that in real time this week, unfortunately. So, but yeah, how to fix it? Your star players, your best players, to the Durans, the Alex Bregmans, those guys have to set the tone. You have to play key defense. We'll say Story has had an excellent resurgence this year as well. And he's been an all-star in that league before. So I just think your Story, Bregman, Duran, those are guys that have been all-stars in your lineup. Rafael has improved. Abreu's improved. You just have to keep raising your level. And you have to be sharper on the road because it's you against 40,000 people every night. You got to find a way to figure it out. But it comes with experience. Like, this is still a very young team. And, young teams get rattled on the road. I haven't seen a young team, especially in baseball, go kill it. The only team I think about that really was nails on the road, we had to go back to when we were in middle school, high school, is the 2003 Florida Marlins. But they were
Yeah.
great on the road.
Right.
You don't also have a Miguel Cabrera. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like there's levels to it. So, but long story short, your stars are gonna show up, whether it be a pitching staff or as a hitter, and the results may change.
Did you want to talk about Roman Anthony or his sister, or do you want to move on to the Celtics?
I would not talk about his sister. He's
Of course not.
he's been awesome.
Christian like yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good, but no, he's been awesome. He had a rough patch himself, but yeah, he's starting to figure it out, at least offensively, anyways. And I'm excited to see his growth. He hits to all fields, and I just hope that he continues to grow here. But
he's batting 330 since June.
He's lethal, and it looks like Christian Campbell has lost it completely. Like, he has not done well on Worcester at all. It sucks because he came out the gate like on fire, and defensively he was making a lot of miscues, and then offensively he wasn't swinging at things, or if he was swinging at something, it was like everything was a ground out to a defender. He's hitting like 192, I think, right now down in Worcester. Whatever confidence he had coming into the season is gone right now, which is why I'm always big on, like, they had already traded Kyle Teal, right, and I think Braden Montgomery in the crochet deal, right? It sucks. So now you're locked into Campbell because you gave him an 8-year deal. So you're locked into that now. So it's just like, damn, like you could have, when the iron was hot, you could have struck on that and then maybe got another picture for him.
All right, let's move on to our boys in green. This is the state of the Commonwealth. This is the most we talked about the Red Sox, I'd say, in quite a long time. But now that they've given us a reason to, we hope to continue that trend. There's been one August and September that has been really meaningful since this podcast started back in 2020. And that was the summer of 2021. You give us a reason to talk about you, and we will talk about you, I promise. Now our boys in green, the Boston Celtics, a couple of key things that are just mentioning. Would love to talk about how are you feeling about Tatum's progress? Are there going to be more trades that come into motion? What your thoughts are on the Summer League? But let's just start with Marcus Smart. One of your favorites is now a Laker.
So when I didn't see the notification right away, my boy Rick texted him and was like, "Hey, Marcus Smart's to the Lakers," and I'm like, "What?" The Los Angeles Lakers, like George Mikan, Shaq, Kareem, Magic, like what? Those Lakers? I said, "Wow!" And listen, a lot of you Celtics fans are going to be exposed whenever LA comes here, because a lot of you were on, it's Marcus Smart forever. We love you, Marcus. Well, he's in the purple and gold now. And if y'all don't boo this man when he come in this building, nah. Like, once again, you're in purple and gold. You no longer, once again, y'all did it to Rondo. And once again, Marcus Smart was not better than Rondo while he was here.
Championships, that's
no, but I'm saying, but like as a player, like he wasn't better than him as a player. So I'm just like, I remember we was all out of school by then, but I remember being pissed about that pick when he was picked there, because I said, y'all trying to replace Rondo with another guy that can't shoot. Like, I was livid about it. I said, how do you justify that? How do you justify bringing in Rondo's replacement and another guy that can't shoot? Once again, does he play hard and does he play good defense? Yeah, that's literally became his calling card as he's been in the league. I didn't understand that, and I never will. For the analyst side of it, take the fan perspective out of it, I think it's a good move for LA. I do. I think that he's not expected to do much over there. I think he'll be better than what Avery Bradley was over there. Because now I thought about it. So you have Avery Bradley was there.
Rondo
was there. I'm trying to think of recent memory who else played over there. But, obviously before then, the Brian Shaws, the Brick Foxes of the world, Travis Knight. Travis Knight, that's a name drop for some of you there. Chris Mim, that's another name drop for y'all there. So yeah, we've had some crossover there, some star-crossed lovers type thing, right? No Romeo and Juliet though. No, there's no love lost there. It's a good move for them though. Like I said, defensively, he still has it in my opinion when he's locked in, but he just hasn't been available.
Right.
So we scream about on the show, your biggest ability is your availability, and if you can't be on the court when it matters most, then we can't see your true value. Which is why he signed a 2-year, $11 million deal, because just a few years ago, he was getting $80 million for 4 years.
I was going to say 2 years removed from Defensive Player of the Year.
Correct. But yeah,
but you're in the building a lot. What do you think? Do you think the fans are going to cheer him or are they going to boo him?
This is Boston. You should get booed.
Well, I know what should happen.
You should get booed. This is worse than him going to the Knicks.
100% worse. Yeah.
So like, you could have went to the Knicks. You could have went. Like Philly would have been close. Like I would have had the same like annoyance if he went to Philly. But you could have went to New York and okay, that it makes sense for that team. All right. But you go to LA, like you could have went to the Clippers. You know, they just signed, Cliff Paul over there for his 90th year in the league. But it's just like, damn, like that's, I don't know. But so there's gonna be fans that are forever loyal to him. So it's gonna be 50-50. Right? But don't let it be something where the Celtics actually find a way to be good somehow, some way, and they find a way to do well. I think that if the Celtics are terrible by the time LA comes, then he'll get cheered because they have nothing else to look forward to. But hey, welcome back, Marcus, right? But if the Celtics are doing good, by the time they come in this building and Brown is averaging 30, it's going to be chaotic in there, as it should be. So I hope that fans boom. I do. Once again, love Mark. Had a big love-hate relationship with Marcus, but he was always cool in the building. He was always dope to talk to.
This is just about how we feel.
No, but yeah, once again, as you being in purple and gold, and he talked about it in his presser. He was like, "I get it. He get it." So yeah, you should be booed out the building. Once again, I think the only guy that really didn't get booed was IT. That's because he literally became a shell himself as soon as he got out of Boston. Like he just wasn't the same guy, unfortunately. So that happens. But other than that, it's like let's get it. So
I mean, using your words from talking about one point guard that can't shoot to another, Ben Simmons is rumored.
I thought about you, man, when I saw that. I think it was on Mass Live. It was crazy. But yeah, but go ahead.
So Ben Simmons is reportedly set to make a decision on which team he'd like to join in the next week. There are 4 or 5 teams in that pool, one of which being the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
I can't emphasize this enough. Will make DK Sizzle wish that it was Russell Westbrook every single night. You already have a star that's not going to play next year. Why are you going to go sign Ben Simmons?
So I thought about this a lot when I saw you share it, and I seen Brian Robb, who's a friend of the show. He was speaking about it with Forsberg on their platform a couple of days ago. So there's a lot of reasons why it doesn't make sense, right? When you think about what his career has been, his trajectory has been. The only thing I can think of is that they think this is like another shot in the dark to just say, hey, let's just see what we can do.
He can't shoot.
No, right. But the only 2 things he's never lost his ability to defend. He's never lost his ability to play make. You lose both of that with Tatum being out this year. You lose his defense, you lose his playmaking. That's the only reason why I think today would be because he's as tall as Tatum. He can defend as well as anybody else. His defense has always been A1. Hurt enough. He's always been good. And they need that because they lost a lot defensively with KP and Drew now moving on. So I thought he did okay, all things considered, with the Clippers. But the only issue, or not only, but the biggest, because I say only, but it was the biggest issue. Because of him not doing anything offensively, he became unplayable in the playoffs. And, yes, there's no teams in the East that are like as dominant as teams are in the West for sure. But you would only have Ben Simmons out there to defend. And trust me, it burns a hole in me to pitch Ben Simmons coming here. Are you kidding me? I don't want to pitch that, but this is a Boston show, whatever. But I don't want to pitch Ben Simmons coming to the Celtics. But
sounds like
as a defender and as a playmaker, he still does those 2 things at an elite level. And once again, from an analyst side, not speaking as a fan, from an analyst perspective, he does those things very well still, and that's why he's still in the league.
Okay. When I shared this with everyone in the group chat, Dave and I have this running thing that DK hates any player that the Celtics are interested in or pick up that shoots threes. So yes. I said, D, you must fucking love this because he doesn't shoot threes. And his response was, yeah, but he has to be good at something else. And I thought, like, offensively, that's just that. Yeah, he can set up plays. I do agree. I mean, but I don't. So Tatum's out the whole year. Brian Stevens just let us know like a week ago that he fully expects Jaylen Brown to be fully clear and play in training camp. So you have Derek White. You have Ben Simmons.
Mhm.
I mean, does that sound like a winning formula to you?
Like you talking about having Simmons at the 5? Is that what you're saying? Simmons will be at the 5?
In the starting five, I'm having him in there.
No, I'm saying but at the 5 though. Like as a center, I'm saying at the 5. Because that's what he would play. He'd be at the 5.
It would have to.
Yeah. Defensively, that intrigues me. That intrigues me a lot, actually, defensively, if he was at the 5, if that was the case.
You want a 6'9" center?
Yeah, but we gotta think about like you're only talking about like Embiid doesn't play, so he's out the equation. Like he don't play, so whatever. You only
Plays more than Ben Simmons.
Sure, but what 20 more games and then he'll be out. Like it sucks because like a change of scenery would be phenomenal for Embiid. Sometimes, and I say this all the time, players all of a sudden they get healed when they get traded. They get healed. You know, life is great. They feel good because Vince Carter is the poster child for that, in my opinion. But
Oh yeah.
I made that point 1,000 times on the show. But I don't know. If you're saying you said Simmons, well, like Niang probably be in the 5 because once again, Tillman's not going to start.
I mean, I assume that Niang and Anthony Simons are going to be dealt before the season starts.
So I think it might have been off Yahoo. They were saying that they would trade Simons and Hauser to Chicago for Nikola Vucevic and Ayo Dosunmu. And I was like, as much as I want to see Anthony Simons play here, because I think he can play, I said, sign me up. Because you get Drew, you get Walmart Drew and Ayo Dosunmu, but he can defend.
You mean value is what you mean.
Yeah, great.
So it's not the way you said it.
Yeah, great value. Yeah, great value. Great value, Drew. Right. So that's so that's what that. Plus, he's been a selfless killer his whole career. So I'd rather have him on the team. Vucevic can approximate what KP was doing when healthy. He's not the defender that KP became, but he can shoot it, and he's going to get you 19 and 10. Well, actually, no, I won't say on this team he can get 19 and 10 because 10 is going to be out. So he can get you a double-double every night, and he's going to fortify that front line. So I would do that in a heartbeat. But as a pipe dream, let me ask you this, because I feel like, you were the one, obviously, that was way ahead of us on the Porzingis take. What about the dude for Sacramento? What about Sabonis here? What would you give up for that? Because they're not going anywhere. So it's like, why not explore it?
Well, what do you think Sacramento would request because they know the position that we're in?
They probably started D White. And to me, that's a no, unfortunately. Yeah.
I'm not
let me say that back. Realistically, they should start D White. I'm saying it because I'm like, Sacramento has not been, they haven't been the greatest front office in sports in a while. And, Jeff Petrie, I think it's mostly like they're out the door if I'm not mistaken. So Vlade I think is gone too if I'm not mistaken. So they haven't been the same. I know they hired Doug Christie as their coach and they seem to enjoy playing for him. But to me, they're the Chicago Bulls of the West. Because you got Levine there now. They got Keon Ellis, who I really like as well. That's someone I would enjoy being here in Boston too. But I mean, yeah. So yes, the GM and me would say let's White, Hauser, and whatever for that because it's a position of need.
And in my opinion, White, Brown, Tatum are untouchable.
Agreed.
I would not do that.
Right, but there's always a sucker. Like, so to me, I'm just if, and it was like, yo, Simons, Niang, Hauser in a first rounder next. Yes. Like, dog, here, like take that. Please take that. Like, I think that would be awesome, right? Now you have the line, and then now you can start filling up other parts of the team until Tanner come back. So I think that saves like $9 million. So they did a Vucevic deal. That saves like $9 million if they did that. But yeah, Sabonis to me, once again, walking 20 and 10. He's been in the playoffs before, and he's been good. He was good in OKC. He was good in Indiana. He's been good in Sacramento. He delivers. And once again, I think he'd be a fan favorite here immediately. Not to KP's level because he has the same personality, but fans would like his game a lot. But Like I said, if you get the Vucevic deal with Ayo Dosunmu here, like in a heartbeat. So Mike Zarin, Brad, get on the phone. The thing is, that's not a real thing because with Brad, we know when rumors come out, that means it's usually not true. So
Right.
Hauser and Niang and Simons will probably go to like I'm
Denver.
Denver, right? Denver for
Yeah.
or even like someone like Brooklyn, right? They say, oh, give us like Cam Thomas or whoever. But yeah, I mean, they got some work to do, but they've done well so far. It's just a matter of just figuring out how to fill out the roster. But I love that he is he's not an airhead. He knows that Boston fans are not rocking with him. He just said it on the OG podcast earlier. He was like, look, he was like, I'm a Boston kid, but he's like, I know they ain't rocking with me right now. He's like, we got to find a way to win out there. I was like, yeah, I'm glad he knows.
Yep.
I'm like, we are pissed off about Porzingis getting traded. Pissed off. So you better get right.
So, but don't you think that the Celtics are in a pretty interesting position with the fan base, at least as of right now? It's July 23rd. They're kind of in a situation. If they do and just a run in the playoffs and win a series, like everyone will say, like, wow, look what they did without Tatum, and that will solidify, Dave's favorite coach as the next guy here for a long time. And if they don't win and they don't make the playoffs, it's, well, you didn't have your star. And you traded Porzingis, and you traded Drew Holiday. In the last portion of this, I want to talk about.
We should want the first option.
100%.
We should want the first option because
make a run.
I don't want multiple coaches coming in and out of here.
No.
So tell you what, the last 25 years, I think we've had 4 coaches. Because you had
Patino, O'Brien.
So 5. So Patino, O'Brien, Doc, Brad, now Joe. Like, some people have 5 coaches in 3 years. I don't want to be that franchise. Right. And we shouldn't be because we're not a poverty franchise. So, Joe's going to get tested, and I'm glad. He should be happy. He should be ecstatic to have this. Once again, this is his MO, right? Oh, I love when our backs against the wall. I love when you count us out. Great, because we're counting you out. People don't think you're going to win more than 40 games, tops. If that.
Not true. I bet DK on the air that I have them over 49.5.
Wow, 49.
So I lose if they win 49, but they have to win 50.
Right. Yeah, I mean, once again, some guys will have to raise their level. You know what you're getting from Brown, you know what you're getting from White. I'm hoping Pritchard could take another leap.
We really haven't seen Jaylen Brown on this team as the guy, as a veteran.
Yeah, I mean, I told Dave that, though. I said, we had a lot of back and forth on the show about who was 1A, 1B.
I know.
Well, now we're going to find out because I said all those that have been clamoring for Jaylen Brown, which is fine. Dude was a hell of a player. I said, we're going to see when the attention is all on you, not just sometimes, but all the time. Can you be that guy? And I think that he can, but there's a reason why people were holding Tatum in that regard they were holding him in. And we're going to find out this season.
I mean, listen, I'm going to lose my fucking mind at the amount of turnovers that Jaylen Brown has this season as compared to last season, because he's going to feel like he needs to do more drives to the basket more, which in theory, I'm okay with.
Yeah. I mean, if he does what he did in game 5, that's the blueprint right there. That's it.
The thing that they did, and then they never fucking did again.
Right, but I'm saying, like, because you were saying about the terms, I'm just speaking to that. Like, though I never see him more under control than in that game, right? And once again, on the tournament, right? So let's preface that. He was dropping off the cornet. He was dropping, it was really masterful to see him in that space in that moment. So once again, we're going to get more nights like that next season. And I'm excited for that because he's grown every year as a player. Like, that's not an opinion, that's a fact. So, yeah, I think he could do that. But, yeah, there's going to be some nights where we're like, wow, you went into a sea of 3. But once again, when we have George Niang in the corner, what do you want him to do? He's going to have to pull up and shoot. So, it is what it is.
Patriots open up training camp. It looked like the place was packed. There were people on the hill. There was overflow. And the excitement is something that we haven't seen here in at least 3 seasons. Head coach, obviously, Mike Vrabel, making a fresh start following back-to-back 4-13 seasons. I think the most important alert or happening over the last week is the fact that Stefon Diggs has been cleared.
Yeah.
Fully cleared.
Let's go.
It's hard to expect a lot out of a guy in his 30s after a torn ACL. But if there's one guy, it's the guy like Stefon Diggs who's always been a dog. He knows people are counting him out.
Yep.
So we don't want to predict games yet because that's going to come obviously with the power ranking show, but also the AFC versus NFC game show. We got a lot of football content coming out. So without saying the record, how shocked were you that he's been cleared, and what do you think this does for the wide receiver room?
So you seen it when he had them videos when they was doing the little camp, the way he was cutting, I was like, oh, like he's, as I said, if he's not back there, I'd be surprised. Like you could just tell the way he was moving. And once again, yes, everyone is an all-star in the offseason. Everyone is at the top of the game in July. I get that. He didn't look hesitant, and that was the biggest thing was he didn't look hesitant, he didn't look scared. So I'm like, oh, like he's really locked in right now to be that guy. And I don't love this ageism take that we have, or like this ages, like this thing on age. Like 32 is not old, and I get it. Was over?
Well, it's younger than me.
But I'm saying
football years.
But we're not getting T.O. on the Buffalo Bills at 38, 39, or Cincinnati T.O. Not getting that. Even though it's still really productive. Yeah.
Then he put up like 800 yards.
Right. No, I'm saying
I might take that.
Just age-wise, I'm just like,
no, you're not getting Buffalo T.O. How about
Buffalo? Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you're not getting that. So cool. You know, I would love to still get Buffalo Diggs, right? We want Buffalo Diggs. We want Minnesota Diggs, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, the dude, he raises the level because his confidence is there. So now you'll see Pop be better. You'll see Kayshon Boutte get better. You know, it raises the level of everyone in that room. And I was talking to some people earlier because I was like, dog, I said, I want them to at least kick the tires on Terry McLaurin.
Oh, me.
Well, no, but I'm saying you know, just let the young guys develop. And yes, I'm with y'all. Like, listen, I like Kyle Williams. I like Pop. I think Boutte is going to get even better than he was last year. But when you can get a term, if that's available, because once again, they may not even trade him. But if that's available, you at least kick the tires and say, hey, what will it take? And to me, it should be a player. And I would gladly give the first round. I don't care about the first round pick. I didn't want them taking the first place, but I get it why they had to. Once again, you get Drake May, you get Will Campbell back-to-back years. Cool. Like, all right, you got your quarterback and lineman for the future. Cool. Now, you got to get some people around them. And time is of the essence because you're now on the clock. That's why when you would drive me through a wall, drive me through, it's year zero. No, it's not year zero. Like, you got to strike now while this man's on a rookie contract. And then you start doing some other stuff. You start revamping. But right now, get everyone around him because you have the guy now. Now go dominate. Go dominate. Forza Foxborough has been phenomenal. I'm through the roof. And it's clear to see that it was not a real program last year. And
well, of course it wasn't right. But
no, but listen, I mean, Bill is Bill, even though Bill, whatever, you know, he's on the greener and younger pastures, but it's wild to me just how bad it was there last year. And it went from take him to the hill to take him to the morgue because they literally died a football death every week out there. It was unbelievable. Unreal.
Except for week
to the morgue.
And week 18, which we could have used that loss. Keenan Allen's still unsigned. Do you bring him in for a visit at least?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't understand the theory here where if you have a motivated and healthy Stefon Diggs, maybe you have a semi-motivated and healthy Keenan Allen, along with Kayshon Boutte, Pop Douglas, Matt Collins. How does that not make everybody better? How?
Unless they read through the tea leaves that he's just waiting to sign back with San Diego. Sorry, LA. maybe they have word of that. Maybe that's why they haven't reached out to him. But yeah, on the surface, of course, if he's available and he wants to be here, why not? 1 year deal, you know, $4 or $5 million, call it a day.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. I think he did wonders for the Chicago room as well. You know, things that we don't know about, but yeah, I'm here for it. And once again, guys are playing longer. So when we see 31, 32, like that should not be a death sentence in football terms. It shouldn't be.
No, but Keenan Allen's he's always had like weird injuries.
Right.
It's
But
like spleen.
that's just a Charger thing though. And we know that. Like Mike Williams just retired. Like,
Yeah, I mean, listen,
you know what I'm
Hunter
saying?
Henry has been a godsend for us. So I'm over the Chargers.
You said Mark Henry?
No, not the world's strongest man. Hunter Henry.
I was like, what?
They go and get their ass kicked.
Yeah, right, exactly. No, but yeah, no, about I'm listen, quick aside, I'm glad you finally came around on Hunter Henry because he's really been decent his whole time here. He's been awesome. Probably been the best offensive player in 4 years he's been here. So yeah. I hope they can go another deep run for him because he's been one of the new Patriots that I've enjoyed seeing play here. Like him, Jabril Peppers. So we'll see. But I can't wait to get into those season predictions and to talk with Karen to see what she's seen during training camp and just the overall excitement because it feels so much different. There's nothing that's been exciting about what was going on down in the last 3 or 4 years. And once again, it just sucks that they wasted a year. That's why I kept saying to them, Drake May should have been the guy and we get it, right? We know context matters. That's the line was trash all year. Like, we get that.
All year.
All year. We get that. But there's no way it was justified. Once again, Alex Van Pelt was not going to be the long-term. How did you let him make that type of decision when he wasn't going to be there long-term? That's insane to me.
I still don't know if I would have advocated for Drake May to be out there for 17
you well. I get it, but it's just like
no.
I mean,
he's 2-10 as a starter, and he's lucky he didn't have 7 concussions last year. I think we should just
learn how to slide. Okay, fine. I'm with you on that.
Slide. The guy said hike, and he was getting killed. I mean, slide.
No, I'm saying because once again, the injury that he got hurt on was on a run that he should have just slid, and he got hit, and he got his bell rung. So that was unfortunate, but he's 6'3", 230. He's a tank. Let him run. It's okay. Let him play the style that got him into the league. He has a cannon. We've seen that.
Loves to use it too, which is going to bite us in the ass.
Sure, but I'm like, it's football. But I'd rather you try to throw it into a tighter spot than because even some touchdowns he had last year, like the touchdown I think in Miami that was to Hunter Henry, right? Backyard football play, he's running, and it's just like, oh, F it, someone's down there, and it's
yeah,
he's doing it. No, it was Austin Hooper. Sorry, it was Austin Hooper, and I said, wow. I said, this is crazy. I said, you just literally threw it into a sea of hands, which I know NFL fans, that game has a different meaning. I know it's not the Raiders. But he just threw it into a sea of hands. And I'm just like, wow. I'm like, excuse me, that's crazy. But I'm excited. I can't wait to get into it. I'm excited for the season overall. I think that I expect some good things.
Good. I don't know whose team I'm going to be on for a game show. I need to win the title. I was
just switch it up because it's been the same thing.
I was Team Bobby for the first 2. Then you and I were a team for 2, and then I was a team with DK last year.
I don't think me and David's been a team though. What?
You want me with Bobby, so he'll piss me off in the first 10 seconds. Which
it's for good content.
Speaking of good content, we have Kayfabe Critics coming up next week. Our SummerSlam preview, first ever 2-night SummerSlam. Can't wait to talk about it. We got some power rankings coming out. We're going to be sitting down with Karen Gregian. And then we got the game show, and then we're full into football season. So thank you, everyone, for sticking with us through the dog days of summer. We felt it with you. We hope that we made it a little bit more enjoyable. But best part of our year is coming. So, buckle up. So for Hollywood, Rayshawn, Buchanan, this is Michael Marcangelo saying thank you so much for listening to Missing the Point. Talk to you next week.